Здравейте, здравейте! Здравейте на всички! Виждам, че се включвате и в чат-бокса. Аз се казвам Димитър Александров и съм представител на Агенция за образование в чужбина Skylines. Ние сме официални представители на университета Utrecht в България, като нашата роля е да организираме такива информационни събития, които да дават информация за бакалавърските и магистърските програми в университета и за процесите по кандидатстване, като наша роля е не само да организираме тези събития, а и да помагаме на студентите в целия процес по подготовка на документите, подбор на програми и фактическото кандидатстване в университета, като нашите услуги към студентите, които кандидатстват в Utrecht University, са напълно безплатни и към всички партниращи университети, с които работим. Така че възползвайте се от услугите ни. Ще получите след презентацията имейл, в който ще има запис на тази презентация и също така полезна информация за крайни срокове, за кандидатстване и необходими документи. Днес имаме удоволствието Рия Мелани, която работи за университета в момента, но е и бивш студент, да ни разкаже малко повече за програмите и възможностите за обучение. Моята колега Евелина ще помага ако имате въпроси на български език, като моля, поствайте ги в чат секцията, там където ги пишете и в момента, а не в Q&A секцията, защото след това при самия запис няма да може да се видят тези въпроси. Ще започнем с едно кратко видео, за да дадем възможност на повече хора да се включат в началото. И след това Рия ще направи своята презентация. Рия, you can play the video if you wish, and then start the presentation. The stage is yours.
Great, sounds good. So this is a short video about student life at the UU. So this will give you just an impression of what it's like to be a student here, and then I'll get started with the presentation after.
I did my bachelor's here at Utrecht University as well, and I really enjoyed the professors and the classes, and I enjoyed living in the city. And when I was looking for my master's program, I found this really unique course called Bio-Inspired Innovation, and it just struck me as a perfect course for me. And I just enjoy the culture around academics and social life that they have here in this country as well as Utrecht University. Studying a master's right now after things are back to face-to-face education, I think a lot of the culture that the academics brings in with the interactions with the teachers, and although I just started my program a couple of weeks ago, I really enjoy the fact that I can go and sit with my peers and have interesting conversations and discussions in class, as well as being taught by some of the most smart people that I've ever met. I think a lot of the reason that I really enjoy this program is because although my teachers are researchers first, they really do pay attention to the teaching aspect of it, and it really shows, and I'm able to engage with them and have conversations with them if I have any doubts after class, and really engage with the subject like never before. My classmates are all very motivated and inspired to do similar things that I am doing, and they're all quite international. Although 50% of the class is Dutch, which is also a really nice insight into Dutch culture, and I'm able to make friends with Dutch people as well. A lot of the people come from different backgrounds, and they bring different perspectives to the table, which allows us to really talk about issues I haven't really discussed before, and know a lot more, not just about my own background, but about the Dutch perspective and other different values as well. Typically in a week I have class almost every day, And apart from that, I study in cafes with some friends or have dinners with friends, and I'm able to study at the library whenever I want, and the library is really beautiful here. Otherwise, Utrecht's quite a small place where I can go everywhere around with my bike, and if I want to, I can take a train to Amsterdam, and that's only like half an hour away. The museums in Utrecht actually are really beautiful as well, which I've been going to quite often. And in my free time, usually I play some sports. I climb here, and I play at a cricket club. So that's I've been really enjoying that. But I know that there's a really nice music program here that a lot of my friends are into as well. I'm really excited to start my internship at a lab here at the UU. I think that's going to be really interesting. On top of that, the Netherlands is really well located, so I'm really excited to travel around Europe and just have new experiences and meet new people, get closer to the friends that I've made in my masters already. Yeah, finally I'm excited to just live in Utrecht for another 2 years.
Great. I hope you enjoyed the video. I'm gonna get started with my presentation now and introducing myself in just a second. Okay. So to start off, of course, I'm here to talk to you about studying at Utrecht University. I'm going to take you through different aspects, so practical matters, applications, admissions, about the university, and we'll also have time at the end for some questions. Before I begin, I just want to introduce myself. My name is Ria, and I am originally from India. I moved to the Netherlands a couple years ago to do my bachelor's at Utrecht University. So just like you, I was also a student deciding where I was going to study. And in the end, I came here, and I really enjoyed my time. I graduated a few months ago, and currently I work in the international marketing team of Utrecht University. So that's why I'm here today to talk to you and tell you what it's like to study at Utrecht University. So to start off, I want to tell you a bit about the city of Utrecht. You saw a little bit about it, some clips in the video that I just showed, but I want to tell you my favorite things as well. So here on the right, you see a picture of the Dome Tower, a beautiful building located in the city center of Utrecht. It really is as beautiful, if not more beautiful than the picture that you see. Some other things about the city: it is the 4th biggest city in the Netherlands, and it's also the 3rd most bicycle-friendly city in the world. So there are over 1 million bicycles, and biking also makes it really easy to go from one place to another to get across the city. So cycling is definitely extremely important to the people in Utrecht. It's also an extremely student-friendly city. So it has over 60,000 students studying there, which makes up around 20% of its population of 340,000 people. So there's a lot of fun activities, museums, restaurants, cafes, bars, etc., that you can really enjoy in your time as a student there. It's also located very centrally within the Netherlands, so you can travel within 30 to 40 minutes to other big cities like Amsterdam or Rotterdam by train. The train network in the Netherlands works amazingly, and everything is super well connected. So that's something I really enjoyed as well as a student. On some weekends, I would go to Amsterdam to go to a concert or to a museum. And the Netherlands is also located extremely centrally in Europe. So during our vacation times, it was also really enjoyable to travel to other cities like London or Paris or Cologne in Germany. Yes. So this is, again, some pictures of the city. Here you have the canals at the city center. In the summertime, you can see people kayak in the canals, and there are bars and restaurants just next to the water where you can sit and enjoy a coffee or a drink and just have some nice views. Also to study, it's really nice to sit here. Then moving on, talking a bit about the university, Utrecht University. So it was founded in 1636. So it's an extremely old university, one of the oldest universities in the Netherlands. It has 7 faculties and 2 university colleges. We have 13 English taught bachelor programs and over 100 English taught master programs, which I'll tell you a bit more about later on. It's also an extremely reputable university. So it's ranked #1 in the Netherlands, 15 in Europe, and 49 in the world, according to the Shanghai Ranking of 2021. There are around 38,000 students studying at Utrecht University, 24,000 bachelor students and 13,000 master students. So it's a pretty big university as well. And it's a pretty international university. So we have 115 nationalities and 4,000 international students coming in every year. As I mentioned, the city and the university is, of course, extremely student focused. So there are also 150 student societies, which I will also tell you about later on in the presentation. So talking a bit about the different locations of Utrecht University, we have 3 locations in the city of Utrecht and 1 location in Middelburg. So the location in Middelburg, which you can see is a different city, a couple hours by train from Utrecht. That is home to University College Roosevelt, which is one of our bachelor programs. Apart from that, all the other bachelor and master programs are taught across our 3 locations in the city of Utrecht. So these locations are the city center, the international campus, and the Utrecht Science Park. These 3 campuses are located fairly close to each other. So within 7 to 15 minutes, you can bike from one campus to another. To give you an idea of what these campuses look like, you can see the images here. So the city center and the international campus have old and historic buildings, while the Utrecht Science Park has newer, innovative buildings. So something I really enjoyed was going to the library in the city center on some days, and then biking to go to class in the science park, and going from being in this old beautiful building to another more different environment where I'm surrounded by these newer, innovative, sustainability-focused buildings. Then going into our English taught bachelor programs. So as I mentioned, we have 13 English taught bachelor programs, which are listed on the screen. So these include programs from the humanities to the social sciences to the sciences, and also include our 2 university colleges, which offer the liberal arts and science program. I'll just leave this on for 1 second so you can take a look at it. You can find all the details of our programs on our website, uu.nl/bachelors. So when you're looking at which programs you want to study, this would really be your first starting point, going to the website and going through the different programs to see the course structure and what you would learn in the 3 years that you would take the program. Then moving to our master programs. So we have over 100 English taught master programs in many different fields, such as economics, law, philosophy, media, art. These programs range from 1 year to 2 years. Again, you can find the details of all the programs, including their duration on our website, which is uu.nl/masters. Then talking a bit more about the education philosophy at Utrecht University. So as a university, as a student of the university, you have a lot of freedom and flexibility whilst you're studying. Programs also offer a combination of seminars, tutorials, and lectures. So you have a variety of teaching methods which are used. Professors are extremely just open and happy to answer any questions you have after class, for example. So they very much have an open door policy. If you have questions, you just go by and they're happy to help you out. As I mentioned, since there are a lot of international students at the university sitting in a classroom, you also have people from all around the world, which really adds to having different perspectives in the classroom while you're studying. Many of the programs also have internships included so that you also get a practical learning experience. And the university also offers services such as a mentor, study advisor, student psychologist, tutors, career services, etc., to help you through your time at the university, as well as prepare you for your time after the university. And we also organize orientation days especially for international students, and also orientation days for specific programs. So these are days that you experience just when you're starting your program and coming into Utrecht, and they sort of help you get to know the city and the university and meet new people and really integrate into the next couple of years that you will be there. Then coming to another important aspect as a student, of course, what is student life like at Utrecht? So the student life is extremely active. We have a sports center called Olympos located in the Utrecht Science Park, where you can take classes on Pilates, yoga, kickboxing, or just go to the gym, anything you want. There are also sports teams for sports like volleyball or football that you can join and be a part of. We also have a cultural center called Parnassos located in the city center, again, where you can be part of theater groups or take courses on photography or music. There are also 150 student organizations in the city, which you can be a part of and join activities. These also include international associations. So one of them is pictured in the image there, called ESN, and they also organize different activities specifically for international students studying in Utrecht. So as a student, all in all, you have a lot of different options of activities and things to do outside the classroom as well. Then talking a bit about some more practical matters, so application, admission, and financial matters. So first starting with bachelor programs, so the admission requirements for bachelor programs. In general, for all programs, you require a high school degree, which is comparable with a Dutch university entrance degree. So some examples of this are an IB diploma or 3 GCE A levels. There are also, of course, other local degrees which could be admissible. If you have questions about this, you can send an email to our admissions office and they will be able to help you out. For some specific programs, you also require specific courses that you need to have completed at a certain level in high school. So for example, to do the economics and the politics, philosophy, and economics program, you require mathematics. For some of our natural sciences programs, you require chemistry, math, subjects like that. On our website, under the different programs, you will always find if they have specific courses that are required. So when you go to our website and click on a particular program, you can also find whether they do indeed have specific courses that you need to have taken in order to be admissible to the program. For some programs, there might also be an additional selection procedure. So this could include an interview or a motivation letter, things like that. Again, this is also listed on our website. So if a program has an additional selection procedure, this will be outlined and the criteria for selection will also be mentioned there. And since our programs are of course taught in English, there is an English language requirement for all programs. So you are considered to be proficient in English if your secondary education was English. But if this is not the case, then you do need to provide some evidence of your English proficiency. And this can be in the form of the TOEFL, Cambridge, or IELTS tests. To know more information on the application requirements and process, as I mentioned, you can go on our website and look at the pages of the different programs. Then going into the admission requirements for master programs, firstly, you require a bachelor's degree in a related field. Similar to the bachelor requirements, you also require an English language test if your previous education was not in English. You require a CV, a motivation letter, and 1, 2, or 0 letter of recommendations, depending on the program. And some selected programs may also require a writing sample. The best way to know, again, the admission requirements for the specific program you're interested in is to go to our website page for that specific program and see what documents and information they require. The application deadlines for most programs are April 1st or June 1st, depending on whether you're from outside or inside the European Union. But these deadlines could differ based on different programs. So again, the best place to get that information is from the program page on our website. Then going a bit into the application procedure. The first step to starting your application is to apply online via StudyLink. So StudyLink is an online portal for all higher education institutions in the Netherlands. So you apply online there and you submit a request for the particular program that you're interested in studying. Once you've done this, you'll get an email from our side to upload your documents into Osiris, which is the UU specific application portal. Then you would need to pay our application fee of 100 euros. So this application fee is paid to the university, not based on per program, but just based on your general application. So if you apply to multiple programs at a university, you would pay this fee just once, not per program that you apply for. Once your application is complete, the university will of course start processing your application and you will hear back about your decision. Once you've gotten your decision and you have been conditionally accepted, the final condition would be to send certified copies of your documents via mail to the university before you actually enroll and start the program. Keep in mind that you can apply before having finished your secondary education or your bachelor's degree. And you can also apply before having taken the English language test. So when you get admitted, the criteria would be conditional based on the fact that before you start, you provide your bachelor's degree or secondary education degree and your English language test. Another good thing to know is that you can apply for a maximum of 4 programs at the same time in the Netherlands. So these 4 programs can be at the same university or 4 programs at different universities. But at any one point of time, you can only apply for a maximum of 4 programs. In your application process, if you do require additional help, our agents at Skylines can definitely help you out. So if you have questions, go to them so that they can sort of guide you through the procedure as well. And if you have specific questions on application, you can always reach out to our admissions office as well. Then going to finances. This is, of course, important to know when you're choosing to study abroad. So the tuition fee per year for EU and EEA nationals is around 2,000 euros per year. And for non-EU students, this varies between programs as well as between bachelor's and master's programs. So the details of this are on our website. These fees are paid per year. So if you are doing a bachelor program, then you would pay the fee 3 times because the programs are 3 years. And if you're doing a master program, it would depend on whether the program is 1 or 2 years. Apart from that, you would also, of course, have other expenses. Typically, we see that students spend 800 to 1,000 euros per month on things like their accommodation, their living expenses, insurance, study materials, going out, etc. So this is something good to account for as well. And since you do have all these different expenses, you might be wondering if you can work to sort of make up some of these costs. So that's definitely possible. You can definitely find a student job in the city. This can be at a bar or a cafe, a restaurant, or also in the university, for example, or doing something like tutoring for high school students. There are definitely a lot of options for student jobs. For EU and EEA students, you can, of course, work freely, but we do recommend that you don't exceed 14 hours a week, just so that you have a good balance between time to do all your studies and also time to do your part-time job and sleep and meet friends and other things. Again, all the details of financial matters can also be found on our website. So if you have questions about that, definitely take a look at our website page. And then talking about housing. So in general, housing in the Netherlands, how it works is that universities don't own their own housing. So there aren't really dorms or campuses that are provided by the university. Housing is usually provided by a private landlord or some kind of private housing organization. The houses are typically mixed gender and single rooms. So you have your own room, but you share the sort of living room and everything else with a few other students. Our university does, of course, support students in trying to arrange housing, but this is limited. Again, on our website, you can find details of all the different ways to find housing and what kind of support the university offers. Something else that's good to know is something known as a hospitieravond. So this is essentially a sort of event where current students living in a student house pick their new housemate. So you apply to live with them in that house when a room becomes free, and then they invite everyone interested to meet with them and see who would sort of be a good fit to live in that house. So sometimes it can help to actually be in Utrecht while looking for a house. But in these times, it is also possible to do these sort of screening events online as well. Rent, again, is roughly 400 to 800 euros a month for a room, depending on location and size and other factors. If you are interested in learning some Dutch while you're in the Netherlands, it's of course not necessary, completely optional, but if it is something you're interested in, these are some resources that you can make use of. One resource that I really like is the International Neighbor Group. So these are free Dutch courses offered by volunteers. So one of my colleagues in the international marketing team, she actually also teaches at one of these classes. And it's, again, a fun way to learn some Dutch and also meet other students and meet Dutch people living in Utrecht. For more information, you can take a look at our website. So we have a study program comparing tool, which you can use to choose the program that sort of best fits you in terms of your interests. You can also meet current students. So this can be students studying a specific program that you're interested in, or a student from Bulgaria, for example. So you can find the link to this again on our website. We also have a page with frequently asked questions on admission and applications. You can also find answers about these topics on our website. You can also stay tuned to our different social media channels like Instagram and YouTube to see different content about the university. Our online Masters Open Day just passed a couple weeks ago, but our online Bachelor's Open Day is coming up on the 19th and 20th of November. So if you are considering to do a Master's program, I would definitely recommend to attend the Bachelor's Open Day. It'll be a great chance to get more details on the programs that you're interested in. And we will also be hosting some special sessions for international students on topics like admission, housing, finance, student life, things like that. I believe in the follow-up email, you will also be sent the link to register for the Bachelor's Online Open Day. So that's it for my presentation.
Well, thank you, Ria. Thank you very much. I will encourage now the students, if they have any questions, to place them in the chat box.
Yes.
Well, here it comes. You can probably see them.
I see them. Okay. A couple of questions for me. Well, thank you, Nikolai, if I'm saying that correct, for your question. So the first question is, what did I graduate in? I did my bachelor's at University College Utrecht, so the liberal arts and science program, and I majored in cell biology and neuroscience with a minor in economics. So that's what I studied. Has there been a cut in the fees with regards to COVID? There was a reduction in the fee because of COVID this year. I'm not sure if that will be the case coming up, as things are back to normal in terms of face-to-face education now. But you can find the details of tuition fee matters on our website page. Okay, the third question, what was the hardest part about studying in Utrecht for you personally from the perspective of being an international student? That's a good question. I think the hardest part for me was just sort of moving to a completely new place and having to start over with making friends, building a life, feeling at home. The way that sort of worked out was, I think my first 6 to 8 months was a bit difficult because I was still finding my people, making friends, feeling comfortable in the city. And then as the time went by and I met more people and became comfortable with where I was, things just got a lot better, and I really enjoyed my time. And the last question is, do you plan on studying masters in Utrecht? Yes, most likely I will do my master's at Utrecht University next year. So if any of you are planning to do a master's, maybe we will be students together.
Excuse me, before you continue, just to say that if the students wish, they can ask their questions in Bulgarian, and we will translate them for you.
Yes. Okay. The next question from Mila. Again, thank you for your question. I want to apply for a master's at Utrecht University, and currently I'm a student in a private university in Bulgaria. Would that be a problem to apply? Indeed, that wouldn't be a problem. It would, of course, depend on the specific program that you're applying to, that you have the correct background in terms of what you've studied earlier, but otherwise it wouldn't be a problem. Is it easy for a foreign student to find a job related to the study program? I'm guessing this is in terms of finding a job later on. Again, I think that depends a bit on exactly what you've studied. For the most part, the Netherlands has a lot of multinational companies and opportunities to find a job where you don't require to speak Dutch. But in some fields, you might require to speak Dutch, and then finding a job could be a bit limited. So it depends a bit on exactly what you've studied.
Can I add something? Sorry.
Yes.
I wonder if Mila is studying at which university she is studying in Bulgaria. But for example, if it is New Bulgarian University, a private one, but very well ranked and with academic reputation, so it shouldn't be a problem. But the program should be relevant to the master program that you are applying.
Yeah.
This is something that you could check in the website, check with us at Skyline. So it's not that easy to answer immediately to that question. Sorry, that's what I wanted to add.
Yeah, I see in the follow-up, indeed, Mila mentions what she studied, and that she studied informatics and she wants to study business administration. So yeah, like I said, it would depend on what background you have and whether the program coordinator would consider that sort of the right background for the exact program. So for questions like that, definitely you can reach out to the program coordinator, as well as, of course, the team at Skylines can guide you towards what you can do best.
And one more thing, if at the private university bachelor program is 4 years, it actually answers the main criteria for a bachelor program from a Bulgarian university. But if it is a 3-year program, then you shouldn't be actually able to get admitted with that bachelor degree. Yeah, sorry, just wanted to add.
Great, thank you. I hope that answers your question, Mila. And then the last point was about whether I think that 800 to 1,000 euros per month is enough for all the expenses. Yeah, that I think for me, the biggest thing was just, it depends how much you're paying for your rent. So if you have sort of an accommodation that's cheaper, then definitely this would be enough. But in the case that you have an accommodation that's slightly more expensive, it could be that you end up spending a bit more. This is sort of averagely how much students spend. Apart from that, it also depends on your personal lifestyle and yeah. Okay.
Yeah, the next question from Raya. Do you want me to help you reading the questions?
Yeah, that would be great.
Okay. Raya would like to know if she doesn't fulfill the requirements for math hours during the high school diploma, should I take an additional test? What is the procedure in such a case? Thank you in advance.
Yeah, that's a great question, Raya. Indeed, if you do not fulfill the math requirements, you can take a test from an external party, the details of this are again on our website. So for example, there's a company called Boswell Beta where you can take additional exams. So if you take that exam and you get the certificate before you start your bachelor's program, that would fulfill your mathematics requirement. The procedure to enroll in such a program, you can again find listed on our website. Since you would be taking the test with a third party, you would need to look at the website of Boswell to see the exact procedure to enroll in their course.
I can add something too.
Mm-hmm.
It's good before just registering and taking the test to check with Utrecht University with our help, if you would like, if you actually would need this additional test. And for example, the test, Boswell test, it has different types, A, B, the level of the mathematics. So you should know which level corresponds to the one required for the program, and depending on the missing mathematics. So it's really better to first check. To check, you need your school transcripts and maybe something more, but we will need to discuss this further with each one of you individually. So yeah, it's okay to check this with the university in advance before directly registering for the test.
Yes.
So Puamena would like to know if there is an online bachelor degree at Utrecht University?
No, we do not have online programs. Of course, during the COVID-19 situation, teaching was completely online, but now we are back to face-to-face education, and that is the plan going forward as well.
Okay, Borislav would like to know if he applies with an American diploma, what price do I pay? So is he an EU or a non-EU according to the diploma at the university? So the price for the EU or non-EU students, which I think it doesn't depend on the type of diploma, but actually on the nationality, the tuition fee. So
yeah,
yes,
exactly.
Yeah, sorry.
Absolutely. So indeed, that tuition fee depends on what nationality you hold. So if you do hold an EU passport, then you would pay EU fees. And if you hold a non-EU passport, then you would pay non-EU fees. So it doesn't matter where you got your diploma from.
I would like to add something more, if I can. So probably Borislav is from either the American college, the ones in Bulgaria that usually graduate with both diplomas, Bulgarian and American. What is important to note is that if you apply with the American diploma, you should need to have the certain AP exams. So again, this is better to check, and sometimes you can apply with both diplomas so that Utrecht would decide which one is relevant for the. Okay, okay. Veneta would like to know what would be the Bulgarian courses equivalent to the chemistry, physics, and mathematics. I'm not sure I get the question. Do you have an idea?
I think you're talking about the requirements. So for example, indeed, for one of our natural science programs, you do require to have taken chemistry, physics, and mathematics at a certain level. For example, A levels. I wouldn't be able to tell you what would be the Bulgarian course equivalents to this. What I would recommend is that you send your curriculum and what courses you are currently following to our admissions office so that they can take a look and let you know whether what you are studying meets the requirement or whether you would need to take an additional test.
Great. Greta would like to know where she can sign up for the upcoming online Bachelor's Open Day. Is it?
Yeah, the sign up for this is again on our website. If you look up Bachelor's Open Day, Utrecht University, it should be the first thing that pops up, but it will also be in the follow-up email of this event. So the link will be sent to you as well.
Okay. Christo says, hello, Ria. Thank you very much for your beautiful presentation. I'm interested in BA in molecular and in biophysical sciences, but there is requirement for additional courses. Can you please provide more details on this? Same as, and he adds, same as Veneta's question.
Yeah, so the answer is also pretty similar. Indeed, for the molecular and biophysical life sciences, you do require to do chemistry, physics, and mathematics at a certain level. I of course, don't know your background and what courses you're currently following in high school. So the best thing to do would be to send the courses that you're following to the admissions office so that they can let you know whether this meets the level that is required for enrolling in this bachelor program.
And Veneta, actually, she's interested in the master's program.
Okay.
Yeah, and she would like to know what are the associated bachelor degrees in Utrecht University? This is the next question.
That's a good question as well. Again, if you go on our website and you go to the bachelor's programs that we offer, you can see sort of on the left side a menu bar, which will also show you related master programs. So you can then look on the bachelor pages whether biofabrication shows up in one of the related master programs. Then you know that that is sort of a good choice if you're looking to do master in biofabrication, that you choose a bachelor that's associated to that. Apart from that, you can also send an email to the program coordinator of biofabrication, and you can ask them if they have a recommendation of which bachelor's degree would at the Utrecht University would best suit going forward into this master. The contact of the program coordinator is also on the website of the master page.
Okay. Eileen would like to know, is the law program in English language, taught in English language?
We do have master programs in law which are taught in English, if that was the question.
Minko would like to know, I saw that you have a creative business program, but I didn't see it here in the presentation. I think he's mixing the universities, by the way. So for Minko, the one that you're looking at is another university that is in applied sciences. If you want to add something here, yeah.
No, I think, I think you answered it.
Maria would like to know, do you get housing if you get accepted in the liberal arts program? Either one of the two, I suppose.
Yes. Yeah, so the liberal arts programs are indeed a little bit different from all the other programs. So housing is indeed provided as part of the liberal arts program.
Bogomil Bogoev, hi, I would like to ask you, for the first year, there is not an equivalent of Dutch diploma and Bulgarian diploma. For example, in the Bachelor of Molecular and Biophysics Life Sciences, the requirement is biology, chemistry, and physics up to the final year. But our students don't have them. How to fulfill this requirement? It's again about if you are missing specific subjects in your high school diploma. Yeah, so again, it's admissions office who can.
Yeah, so if you already know that you don't meet the requirement, then indeed you would need to take an additional test at a company like Boswell. If you're unsure about whether you meet the requirement, then you could reach out to the admissions office and they would be able to best help you from there.
Yes, and Vasco would like to know if there is going to be a recording of the meeting published. If yes, where? I wasn't able to see everything due to a short emergency. Yes, we're sending the recording afterwards. Maybe it will take us a day or two. But all of you and everybody who registered will receive a recording of the webinar plus additional information in the email. Carolina is asking, I plan to apply for a master's program in European law next year. I would like to know if Utrecht offers job opportunities after graduation, whether it creates contact between students and potential future employers. Is there contact between current and former students who have already completed a certain program? And respectively, can we find out more about their experience after graduation? Very nice question.
Yeah.
Several questions.
Yeah, so in several of the master programs, like I mentioned, something like an internship, for example, is included into the program. So this is sort of a starting way of going from a study-based approach to a more practical working-based approach. Apart from this, contact between current and former students, this does depend on the program, but there are sometimes events and activities organized by the program that connects current students with former students, or events by our alumni office. On our website page, there are also some testimonials from past students talking about their experiences and how the master program helped them to do what they're doing right now. So you can also take a look at that to get an idea of sort of what they gained from the master and what they're doing currently, to see if that's something that you're interested in, and also to gain from their experience. Apart from that, in terms of job opportunities, there are some PhD positions that open up at the university, which you can apply for. I think typically, depending on the field that you're doing, if it's not academia, you would apply for a job outside the university. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Christina would like to know if it is necessary to be vaccinated, the COVID vaccine, in order to, I don't know, I suppose, to study and go to Utrecht University.
Yeah, that's a good question. In general, in the Netherlands, it's not compulsory to be vaccinated, of course, but to enter certain locations, you do need to show either a corona test that has been done recently or your proof of vaccination. So if you're not vaccinated, it could be the case that you just have to get tested multiple times a week so that you can show that test instead of your vaccine proof.
Mila didn't understand quite well whether, okay, I'm reading the question directly. I didn't get the answer about this question, if there is a requirement to apply with the language certificate from the last 2 years, because I got the Cambridge CAE in 2019 and I'm going to apply in 2023. So the requirement about 2 years validity of the certificate is the question.
Again, I would recommend sending an email to admissions office at uu.nl because many of these situations are assessed on a case-to-case basis. So if you send them an email, they'll be best able to sort of give you an answer and help you figure out your next step.
Okay. Paulina is asking, hello, Ria, I'm interested in the liberal arts and sciences program. Can you tell us more about it? It's going to take time, maybe?
Well, I can try to, in short, tell you a couple lines about it. But yeah, the liberal arts and science program is essentially a bachelor program where instead of choosing a particular subject before you start, you choose to study liberal arts and science. And in the 3 years that you are at one of our university colleges, you then build your curriculum. So how you build this curriculum is in the first year, you take a number of courses in different fields. At the end of your first year, you then declare a major. So this is the main subject that you're going to follow and graduate in. This can be, for example, what I did. So my major was sciences, and I studied cell biology and neuroscience. And then you can also have a minor. So I did a minor in economics, or you can do an interdepartmental major. So something that mixes social science and sciences. And then in your second and third year, you work on meeting the requirements to graduate, keeping in mind your major and minor, in short.
Okay, Christina Danova is continuing and she would like to know, what is the method that you use in order to decide if a student is suitable? And it just was the question. If a student is suitable for the program or not. I mean, it's about the admission criteria. So this is decided by a specific admission officer, coordinator of the program. So they're looking at
exactly.
Each program.
Each program has different criteria that they might have in mind. So the first criteria for all programs is, of course, that your diploma is admissible, that you are going to meet your basic requirements like English language tests. And if the program is additionally a selective program, then it could be that they have additional things like an interview or a motivation letter of recommendation that they then use to determine who are the best candidates to be admissible into the program. So it depends a bit on whether it's selective or non-selective. If it is selective, they take into account some additional factors, which are always listed on the website. And if it's non-selective, then it's purely based on the fact that you do meet all the admission criteria.
Okay. Eileen is asking about the linguistics bachelor program. Which are the languages I can choose from? Is the bachelor program taught in English language? So the question is, do I study additional languages in the linguistics, and which are they? Trying to see the curriculum, but it's not very easy to answer right now.
Yeah, unfortunately, I would also need to take a look at the exact curriculum for the program. So I would suggest going to the page of that program on the website and then going to the curriculum. All the programs list exactly what you're going to study in the 3 years. So you can definitely find the details there. And if you have further questions which are program specific, you can also reach out to the program coordinator so they can help you further.
Yeah, I'm trying to see, but it's really difficult to see there is the curriculum with all the subjects throughout the 3 years. So it's there, you could see, and there's also a possibility to choose from electives in the third year. So, okay.
Yeah, you can also talk to a current student. So as I mentioned on our website, you can chat with current students doing a particular program. So you could find the student doing the program that you're interested in, and then ask them as well, what are they studying, and what are the requirements in terms of courses that they're following.
Maria, can I mention here that we will organize also one-on-one meetings on a later stage, probably in 3-4 weeks, for the most interested students, and there we can have these questions probably answered.
Yep.
Okay, Veneta, I'd like to know how many students get admitted into the Bachelor's College of Pharmaceutical Sciences program each year. I think they should be mentioned in the website of the program, and in the quota, the number of students enrolled per program. I'm also trying to find it right now, but it's taking some time.
I also, unfortunately, don't know off the top of my head. But it is indeed a numerus fixus program, so there are a fixed number of students taken every year.
Just College of Pharmaceutical Sciences.
Well, probably I will go to the next question. What grades are required for you for your high school diploma? Does it depend on the program you want to apply to?
Yeah, so again, that depends a bit on whether it's a selective or non-selective program. So if it's a non-selective program, the requirement is typically just that you obtain your full high school diploma, which is admissible to Utrecht University. And if it is a selective program, then they might indeed make a selection based on grades, but there's no minimum grade. That just depends on the program. They typically look at your entire profile and then make a decision.
And to add, the pharmaceutical program is 60 places only. Okay. How is the weather in the Netherlands? Would like to know, Boris.
Great question. The weather in the Netherlands is, it goes up and down a lot. Definitely right now after the summer, it's quite rainy and a bit gloomy. But then also very pretty with all the orange trees and leaves. In the summer, it's absolutely amazing as well. Super warm, and the second the sun is out, everyone in the Netherlands is just outside. And in the winter, it's also cold. Sometimes it snows, and then it's quite nice because all the canals freeze and you can go ice skating on them. But yeah, the weather is it makes for a good conversation starter. So if you're ever in the Netherlands and you don't know what to talk about with someone, just mention the weather, and everyone has an opinion on it.
Yeah. And Anna Raya would like to know, so am I going to need to take a final examination for mathematics? This is the matriculation exam called Matura in Bulgaria, in order to apply for the economics and business economics program. I would answer that from our previous experience, the past years, Matura in mathematics has not been required for a Bulgarian diploma. But I do not dare to predict what would be this year with the changes in the high school diploma, the Bulgarian high school diploma. Still, mathematics in a good level is required so you should study mathematics and up until the final year. This is clear. About the Matura, it will need to be checked, and when applying, you will get an offer, and the offer will say, actually, this is what I can advise.
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't see any other questions. There was one in the Q&A, but we answered it. Yeah, it was answered live.
Well, it's 7:30 here. I think we should say thank you to Ria for her wonderful presentation and for the time devoted to us. Thank you very much, Ria.
Thank you for organizing this, and yeah, I hope it was useful. And as I mentioned to all of you watching, as you're applying, if you have questions, you can definitely reach out to the Skylines team to help you as well.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Have a nice evening.
Лека вечер на всичките. Благодаря. Goodbye, everybody.
Ciao на всички.